Bulls stepped in, they held, and so far heading into tomorrow's trading session, we do have this failed breakdown from bears where they failed to step in after the retracement. They failed to step in and break down and create new lows below 580 and trigger that double top formation. And what a failed double top basically turns out is a bull flag. We have a rally here, and now we got a consolidation. We retested support. Even if they go down there, that will still be a potential bull flag. Usually, failed double tops become liquidity, or in other words, a bull flag for the bulls to step in and then get another advanced rally. So if this does break out above 585, we're going to see the 595s and even the 600 perhaps. But yeah, team, there's that after hours close. You see, that's oh my goodness, that 30% could have became about like 80-90% by now. That was a beautiful squeeze. I usually keep it, but yeah, I've been very careful with my trades, just taking it very safely, and I've noticed my stress level has gone down, and I've kept my probabilities high, and I think I'll continue to stick to that even if I see candles like that, because to me, trading is mostly about managing risk. Oh my God, I'm about to change my mind right now. This is a big candle. OMG. But yeah, team, I think that's a fair response from the Bulls because, like I said, Bears had that massive breakdown this morning, and they failed to break down again here. And what ended up happening is Bulls just stepped in. So if you notice, not only that, but we also had a head and shoulders there. So even after that massive rally where Bulls stepped in, clearly signaling, sending a warning to the Bears. Bears came in, they broke it down, and yet even then they failed to break down below the neckline of that potential head and shoulders. So what ended up happening is Bulls came back down, retested that prior rally, base rally, which if you see a breakout, this means it's going to be a demand zone. That prior zone is going to be a demand zone, and you can see the reaction there was a demand candle on the 5 minute time frame. Now, what I was shocked about is right here. This is where I saw bears really coming in, and I was kind of surprised they didn't break down. So when I saw that they weren't breaking down, I entered right about right here with some nice contracts. I think it was tomorrow's expiration 583, and that ended up doing really well. Closed them around here for 30%. But yeah, the reason why I entered that trade was because of that reaction that we got from the failed breakdown. So now looking at the hourly chart here, the hourly chart is showing us a potential bull flag that is setting up. Bulls are still maintaining well above the 20 EMA line, and we are coming up to where the breakdown candle was. So if we do break above that supply candle, this fully invalidates the breakdown, and this means that bulls got the liquidity to try and get a retest at 585.27 again and see if they can absorb more of the supply so that they can finally break out heading into the second half of the week. I will even be open to a retest at 578.50. Maybe Tesla will report bad earnings and the market will react negatively to it. Perhaps this will give the market room to come back down and retest 578. Looking at the daily chart here on the S&P 500, again, it just looks like another liquidity day where bears came in, some profit taking was triggered, and we went down to 580. Bull stepped in and rode it right back up. So far, despite us being very far away from the 20 EMA line, bulls are stepping in. There's not much selling with a lot of volume, and there's just pretty much eating time off the clock. But we do have earnings reports that can affect this. So this is the earnings that we have that can affect the market. Tesla on Wednesday, as well as IBM. I think those two are the biggest of this week. And then heading into next week, we have Apple and Amazon on Thursday, and then on Wednesday we have Meta and Microsoft reporting after the closing. So those are going to greatly affect the market, and I think that's what the market is waiting for. Now, team, we saw SPY selling off and buyers showed up, right? I want to show you something that really showed a lot of strength today, and I loved seeing that. Despite today's very sharp decline in the morning. Matter of fact, I was very patient for it, and I even shared with our team. I got a perfect entry right at the very, very bottom. As soon as we tested that liquidity there, which is the stop loss hunt, and then we printed that candle, that's when I entered that trade, and I ended up doing really well. The reason why I didn't enter at that particular support there is because I knew that, well, it's been happening a lot of times. And this is why, when I say I knew it, is because I've seen it from experience where they go down to to the first level, they get a fake rebound, as we can see there on the 5 minute candle. Well, if you go to the other time frames, like the 5 minute and the 2 minute, you'll see a lot of reactions there, but all, um, it's all, um, it's all just a setup before they get another drop in. So what they do is they just stop loss hunt the way they break down below the first level of support and then find support on the much bigger time frame. Matter of fact, I even thought that they would go for the 5,852 main support, but they didn't do it. And when I saw that reaction there, that beautiful bullish engulfing, I entered on that trade there, and that ended up working out really beautifully. This is the 15-minute time frame, but the 5 minute and the 2 minute time frame were as strong, as we can see there. Just very nice reversal from the bottom, and yeah, that was a nice trade. So let's take a look at the one that really held the market up. If you notice, the S&P 500, most of the sectors were red. The energy sector was down, industrials was down, utilities was down, communications was down, consumer discretionaries, materials, financials, consumer staples, healthcare, even the real estate sector. Those two, healthcare and real estate, were down the biggest. And it really was a bloody day for a lot of the S&P 500 stocks. But then there was one particular sector, which is the technology sector. And this is why we're going to look at QQQ. So QQQ was really showing a lot of strength. It was not breaking down like the S&P 500 was. And the reason why is because Apple and Nvidia were doing really well. Whenever you have those two bellwethers, well, Nvidia has just become the new bellwether for this, I guess, for this particular decade here. But so far, Apple's doing really well. Did really well today. It's trading just under its historic all-time highs, and so far bulls have a really nice continuation candle to continue to advance higher. And if earnings goes well, then this just adds more fuel to this beautiful uptrend expansion here, sending it towards the 250s. Now, what I do want to look at is Nvidia. This one I was not expecting it, because I was expecting some like some liquidity trap, maybe sell off down to like 135 area, and then hammer back up, meaning like wick back up, print a tail, and then advance higher, like something like that. You see this candle right there, and then advance higher, but that just did not happen. Instead, bulls just stepped in right at the opening session and printed a massive demand candle. So this one kept the XLK sector of the S&P 500 above the water and closed pretty green. And it looks like rotation is flowing out of the other sectors and into the technology sector. Now, one particular stock that I'm looking at is Microsoft. This one has been very stagnant down here, but earnings is coming up, and this could be a good catalyst to finally get a breakout from this potential bullish falling wedge. Now, if they do instead break down below 408, this is going to be very bad, and it'll likely go down to 371 77 area, filling that gap, getting all of the stop losses, and then moving back up. So these are some scenarios that I'm looking at for Microsoft, but I am currently in a position. I'm in January 17, 565 call, sorry, 465 call, and we have a good candle there. We have a good bullish candle. Let's see how tomorrow goes. But so far, I do like the reversal that I saw. I did like the rotation that I got, that I saw flowing into Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So now let's move back to QQQ. So we discussed this Sunday meeting, if QQQ does continue to digest really well, and maintain this uptrend here, they're eventually going to break out and then head towards 503, which is its historic all-time highs. Now, 503.52 is the early July peak for QQQ, and if we look at SPY and the Dow Jones, this is the mid-July peak on the S&P 500, and you can see that we recovered and we have gone, I mean, far above the July historic all-time highs. If we look at the Dow Jones Industrials, also the Dow Jones Industrials, same thing, far above the historic all-time highs from the recent, about 3 months ago on July, and uh, QQQ and IWM so far seem to be the only one. Well, IWM came all the way back up and even was up there for a couple of days at mid-July historic all-time highs. So now that we are seeing this rotation, you can see why I'm feeling good about QQQ and why I am potentially looking forward to trading this. Now, what's going to change my mind about trading QQQ is if we get another breakdown. So if we get another red breakdown candle like that, just know the chances of this uptrend going higher and then bulls pretty much breaking historic all-time highs is going to be very, very low if they do break down. So as long as they don't break down, as long as they don't have a breakdown candle like this where they're pretty much they're confirming those two breakdowns that we had, as long as we don't see that, I think bulls are going to be in control and they're going to get that breakout above the historic all-time highs at 503 and then push higher towards the 520 to 525. Now, in that case, if that happens on QQQ, that means the S&P 500 could reach the 600s, which many analysts have been targeting. So far, bulls are eating time off the clock. I would like to see more data from the earnings coming up. I would like to see Tesla. I would like to see IBM. And then into next week, I would like to see Meta and Microsoft. If those earnings go well, then even if Apple does have mixed earnings, or I wouldn't even call it mixed earnings, they always do really well. Now, the problem is, actually, no, not the problem. The very, very interesting um, news that or not news, the interesting, how do I say this, anticipation that I am looking forward to on Apple is their announcement if they are indeed seeing supply, basically, how do I say this, an increase in demand. There was a lot of issues in China with their economy doing really bad, and that was also affecting Apple. The demand was very, very low, and there was a recent news, I believe, just a couple of days ago, where there was reports that Apple is bouncing back from the bad supply, and they're doing good. So their demand is increasing, and if that's the case, I can see that happening on QQQ. So this is what I will be looking forward to on Apple earnings. And then we have Microsoft Catalyst. Obviously, investors will be looking forward to Microsoft because it's been trading in this range ever since the beginning of the around late January of this year. So we have not done much, and we are just flirting at the 200 SMA line. And the reason why this is so key is because if we get above the 200 SMA line, this tells us that we have a new uptrend cycle, and this could go on to break historic all-time highs and then even see the 500s heading into 2025 as well as 2026. Maybe by mid 2025 that can happen, or maybe even honestly end of first quarter 2025. So we will see. We will see. But I'm really looking forward to earnings being positive this time, and bulls having a good reaction to it. We will see. But yeah, team, we are currently, we can say that we are in a bear market on Microsoft at the moment because they did close just about a few pennies above the 200 SMA line. But any close below that means that this stock is in a downtrend, in a bear market. And yeah, that's what we need to see. We need to see we need to see bulls staying above the 200 SMA line, breaking that level of resistance at 423, which is the recent peak, and establishing that higher high. Because if they do hold here, this will be another. You see, we have been making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Well, it's not really a higher high there. That was an equal high to that breakdown where the supply was. And they came in with higher lows, placed higher highs above that, which is good. And so far, looks like we are going for a higher low. And if they do come back up above 424 on Microsoft, I'm going to be very, very bullish towards 441. I mean, there's so much upside on the stock if we do get the catalyst. So this is what I'm looking forward to on Microsoft. And yeah, my main focus for this week is really going to be QQQ. I do like what we are seeing on QQQ, and I'm looking forward to trading this reaction tomorrow. So if QQQ heading into tomorrow's trading session, you can look at this on the 5-minute time frame as well as the 15-minute time frame. These are my two favorite time frames for day trading, and I honestly do really well. Like I had another scalp just before the closing session. That's my trade right there. I got another trade in for 30%, and that was really nice. But yeah, the 5-minute time frame on QQQ resistance is 496. So this is what I will be looking forward to on the bulls. If they do break out, I'm expecting them to continue higher towards the 503, maybe before even reaching earnings next week. So now let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame. This is the 15-minute time frame. We had a massive, massive breakup candle, and what we essentially have here is we got a nice rally, base rally setup with a breakout candle. So seeing that breakout candle is beautiful, and as long as we do defend that heading into tomorrow's trading session, even above 495.50, honest to God, even then I may enter a call in what is known as an aggressive entry, get the breakout from 496.20, keep some runners from there, and then get that nice breakout continuation. This is what I will be looking forward to on QQQ. Let's end today's session here, team. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. See you tomorrow.